Hi, my name is Sophia B. and I am the public speaking teacher for the Peiying Summer Camp. And this week, these 15 kids are going to show you what their speeches are.
Say you're sitting around with your friends playing video games, and someone mentions a particular game that happens to be one of your favorites. Oh, that game's easy, so not worth the time, one of your friends says dismissively. The others agree. Inwardly, you know that it's a game that you happen to like quite a lot, but outwardly, not wanting to debate the issue, you go along with the crowd. You have just experienced what is commonly referred to as peer pressure. It is probably more accurate to refer to this as peer influence or social influence, to adopt a particular type of behavior, dress, or attitude in order to fit in with a group of your equals.
When you attempt to envision a writer, I imagine many of you see a quirky recluse, hunched over a desk in some cabin, crumpled paper strewn about as they obsessively work on the next great American novel. But writing is so much more. Prose is thought puts a page, which makes all of us writers, even if we don't have the chops to tango with Faulkner. In most cases, writing is most useful as a tool for thinking, expression, and creativity. Much of the research on writing and happiness deals with expressive writing, or jotting down what you think and how you feel.
Myth has two main functions. The poet and scholar Robert Graves wrote in 1955. The first is to answer the sort of awkward questions children ask, such as, who made the world? How will it end? Who is the first man? Where do souls go after death? The second function of a myth is to justify an existing social system and account for traditional rites and customs. In ancient Greece, stories about gods and goddesses and heroes and monsters were an important part of everyday life. They explained everything, from religious rituals to the weather, and gave meaning to the world people saw around them.
More than 30 million children trundle through school cafeteria lines every day in the United States. And thanks to the Healthy, Hunger-Free Kids Act, which took effect in 2012, they are no longer served greasy pizza, salty French fries, and sauced-up chicken wings. Meals must now be lower in fat, calories, and sodium, and contain lean proteins, more fruits and vegetables, and whole grains. And kids from coast to coast are wrinkling their noses.
Have you ever felt like your parents hover around you and get into your business too much? Do they do everything for you and solve all your problems? Helicopter parenting is becoming a bigger issue. Helicopter parenting is when a parent hovers and monitors every aspect of their child's life, not a parent who literally flies in a helicopter above you. Many people don't know the negative effects of helicopter parenting. Helicopter parenting can be good in some ways. Their kids have higher GPAs and can understand certain topics more than others. Helicopter parents help keep their kids out of trouble, and it obtains a stronger family bond.
First, reading is fundamental to functioning in today's society. There are many adults who cannot read well enough to understand the instructions on the medicine bottle. That is a scary thought, especially for their children. Filling out applications becomes impossible without help. Reading road and warning signs is difficult. Even following a map becomes a chore. Day-to-day activities that many people take for granted becomes the source of frustration, anger, and fear.
Social media is a fantastic way of getting people to express themselves, whether it be via a Facebook status, writing on walls, Twitter updates, photos you share. These are all extensions of you and your personality. It can help portray your interests and views and can show people who you are. They can offer a platform for you to be yourself, to be creative, to be who you want to be, and most importantly, to have an audience for all of these. Unlike the real world, where social etiquette and manners can sometimes seem to be restricted and limiting, people feel they have the freedom of expression and/or speech when using the online network.
In China, there is no religion, but Do Chinese people have face? We acknowledge that the absence of face and lack of face is present in the objective, but if you say Chinese people do not have face, they beg to differ. The Chinese people have never been short of face. Their face is created by the history and great culture, and contains the Chinese spirit and Chinese wisdom of face. This face, which has existed since the beginning of our civilization, has existed as the spiritual touch of these nations until today.
The world has undergone enormous changes over the past decade. We now live in a world where communication is paramount. It seems that everything and everyone is connected in some way. For school students, this has made things much more efficient. Research papers that used to involve hours of laborious effort can now be researched and documented without ever touching a card catalog or a periodical index.